And we are live.
Woohoo! Hello, everybody, and welcome to a YouTube Live and a Facebook Live about platforms. That teeny tiny subject. I'm with Troy Aldemas and Viv Adcock. And Viv, so the platform information is anything from the past is a state of havoc, and fifth element is where we're trying to take away and change something for someone else or something else. And there's 6 of these platforms. And so today Viv suggested that we talk about, like, what is your money platform? Yeah. Are you hoarding your money platform rather than choosing what it is you would like to have with money, which is like, isn't that so big?
Well, hoarding itself, it's like, what does that actually bring up for you? You know, for everybody watching, it's like when we hoard stuff, we defend. We hang on to it for dear life. We've made it my precious. Don't take it away from me. You know, this is all I've known. This is how I live. This is how I function. And this totally ties into, you know, so if you look at your relationship with money, who, what, where, when, why, how you be with money, all the past, all the stories, all the significance, all the experiences, everything you've created, how much of that is still perpetrating to this very second you're breathing and into the future that you could change.
Yeah. And I would say it's just so, and I would say, like, one of the things, like, for me, especially, like, when you are in it, it seems so real. Like, when you're in your platform, like,
the limitation seems so real.
Like the limitations, like, and I know, like, there would, like, one of the major, like, limitations that came up for me like a month ago, like, it's actually easier to just, like, either borrow money or like spend money than, like, creating money. And I was like, oh, like, and I acknowledged, like, and be present with that I had this point of view, and still, like, I was like, how I'm gonna change this? It's just, like, so real. Like, is this a limitation or is this, like, a reality? And, like, I really had to, like, start using the tools and, like, really play with it. And, like, when I was willing to, I'm gonna say, like, do the work and like really starting to use the tools, and it was, like, starting to, like, really shift and change. And, like, platform, like, was a huge, I'm gonna say, like, piece of the puzzle that allowed me to change that, because I was like, oh, actually, like, this is my platform. Like, I'm comfortable in not creating. I'm comfortable in not generating more money that I'm currently bringing in. And yeah, it's just, I guess it's huge.
Yeah. It's so funny. You know, Gary is talking about, like, what would it take to have a limitless financial reality, a limitless living, a limitless business, you know? And one of the things that I was looking at is sometimes I can be more addicted to the lie of limitation than, like, really choose to be like that bringer of possibilities with money. And one of the things that I'm going to say, if you're out there and you're like, oh my God, have you seen my bank account? We grow up in a world that continuously feeds us, like, control, fear, insanity in regard, limitations all the time in regard to money. So, and it makes it true, but the thing about it is it's heavy. Like, are you using the light heavy tool, you know, in regard to money? And so for me, how come I'm talking about this is I'll be around. I was on a class last night with Gary Douglas, the wizard, and the three of us have all of us have experienced Gary contributing and gifting us awareness where we're stuck hoarding someone else's point of view, judgment, limitation in regard to money. And it's like there's a big lock. Like, for me, it's like a big padlock, like, on the door to, like, limitless money, or, you know. And yet we put in these keys, let them 10 keys to freedom are the keys of like, would an infinite being truly choose this? Interesting point of view. And so these keys are these codes that allow us to like open to something greater. We actually, like those of us that are willing to change and receive it, we actually have changed our realities through question and the willingness to choose to go beyond what we cannot control. And I know for me right now at the moment, I require that real honoring support from someone who knows that the limitation isn't real. And I know too, I can still forget. And then you've this continuous like trust. Like one of the things that you may look at is, do you trust yourself with money? Do you trust yourself to bring money forward? You know, it's like this platform thing. Today we're talking about money. You can talk about sex. You can talk about relationship, business, your body. What else?
Yeah, absolutely any part of your life. So yeah, and that just, both of you have just really pricked something for me too. It's like this perpetration of scarcity. The petrol prices are going up, food prices are going up, I can't afford it, you know, and you hear people all the time just reiterating to themselves, I can't afford it, I don't have the money, I can't afford it, I don't have the money. And if you hear yourself using any of those phrases coming from scarcity, it's like, there's your platform. Whatever comes out of your mouth with money, whatever goes around in your head, if you're willing to be present with it. And it's like, okay, well, what else could I choose here? If I was really allowing myself to have clarity on what I would like to be and have and create, and know in capital letters, that you are capable of actualizing that. We just need to get some crap out of the way first, which isn't your crap, by the way.
Yeah. It's so funny you said something, and this is the thing that I'm like astonished at, that none of us are educated to recognize the power of words. And so I know so many people watching this, they came here for the big magic. Like Viv, you know, you came here for the big we love magic. Like, and I know tried it. And so we don't recognize that you're using your magic against you when you say, I can't afford it. You're like, the power of, like, you're actually disempowering yourself. You know, in the How to Become Money workbook, the universe is abundant. Every molecule out there is in support of you. Living with ease, joy, and glory. Every molecule wants to contribute to you.
Yeah. And I get that's it's so huge.
Yeah.
And it's like we're so like undereducated, because like
Yeah.
I'm like still like surprised, like when I'm willing to use different words, like how the energy can shift so quickly. And actually that's like, I'm gonna say, like, that's like the beginning of like the change everything. Like when you go, hey, do you know what, I'm actually not gonna say that I cannot afford it, or I'm not gonna align and agree with this person. Like we were just talking with someone yesterday, and I was saying like, oh, like I'm looking to do these sessions, or I'm going to do this class, and he said to me, oh, you better get it out there quick before everybody runs out of money. And yeah. And like when like someone says such a thing to you, like do you just go into contraction? Do you go align and agree with them and go, oh my God, like I better get it out there quickly, like everybody's running out of money? And then like you align and agree with their platform, and then it becomes even more solid and more solid and more solid. And personally, like when I was growing up, like I learned if it's solid, that means it's real, it's true, instead of like keep going towards the lightness, like moving towards lightness, going, oh, actually, like this is not light, like this is a sense of contraction in my world, so it's not true for me. And going like, okay, like what is true for me, and truly what do I know, and what is possible for me if I was not functioning from my platform with money.
And we so quickly give ourselves up for someone else's point of view, judgment, and we make their limitation more important than being limitless. And this is something like, I was a slave to people's points of views, and now I'm really looking at like creating, no, I am. How do I find my money reality, my financial reality? Where's my financial reality? And like, where do I find it? And and going into question about, I will have this, I will find a way to have more money, I will find a way to be a multimillionaire, I will. And it's just this platform class, both of us have been doing Access for a while now. All three of us actually try to. It's changing something in me that I'm going to say like an addiction to limitation. And it seems to be like, instead of walking down a corridor and all the doors closed and like trying to fight to get my way out and kicking down the door, it's now I'm using the tools. Like, what would it take to have instant actualization of magic air? The door opens, you know. It's just, I'm so looking forward to this class.
Do you know something that I love having a bit of fun with, and it might sound a bit pokey or controversial to people or piss you off when I say this. It's like when people have these conversations where they just align and agree with how terrible things are, or they, you know, money's tight or whatever it is. It's like, wow, my biggest problem is I've got so much money, I don't know what to do with it all, you know, and it fucks with their reality because it puts them into question. They're either going to judge me and, oh, it's all right for you, or it's going to be, wow, I've just detonated something in their world as to a totally different reality. And I'm still speaking that into my existence. I'm tapping into the energy of, what if my greatest problem was I had so much money, I didn't know what to do with it all? You know, and be that total algorithm intellect where people go into that autopilot and it just comes out of their mouth like it's robotic. You know, they've become it so much that it's out of their mouth before they even have any chance to become aware of what they're saying or aligning and agreeing. So, you know, what question can you all ask that will just actualize your reality? Like you say, kind of put the spanner in the wheel and stop that conversation continuing. So, yeah, that's just me having a little bit of fun.
Yeah. And actually that's the way we change the world. Like when everybody is like, hey, like, can you put another brick on the wall that I decided is real and true? And you go like, hey, you know what? Actually, no, I'm not going to align and agree with you. And they're like, what? Like like that's where the conversation ends, because they're like, oh, like, isn't it this true? And you're like, not really for me. And then they're like,
And so if you're out there and you know you require, I'm going to say, like, anytime that I have that sense of like not being able to move forward the way I enjoy moving forward, you know, looking back to the past or hoarding or holding on, I just know this platform class is going to be lightning bolts of change. And I guess you got to look at, would you rather complain about what's not working in your life, or would you like to create something beyond this reality? Which is it is the one that you would like to have, I guess.
And truly, if you were willing to let go of your platform, like, what would that create for your financial reality?
I'd have to be out of control.
And if you let go of hoarding, what could you generate with ridiculous amounts of ease as well? So it begins next weekend. We'll put the link underneath this. It's 3 nights with Gary Douglas from the ranch in Texas. You can join live or online. There's still time to jump on a plane and get yourself to Houston. And I personally will be online. And what are you guys going live or online?
I'm online. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be seeing you online then.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks, everyone. We'll put the link below here. And what else is possible today? What else is possible? And how does it get any better than that? My 2 favorite questions at the moment.
How does it get any better?
How
and
does
what else
it
is
get
possible?
any better than this?
Or this one from Jenny B. What else is different?
Ooh, there you go.
What else is different? Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thanks so much, Viv.
Thanks, Viv.